Next we have, as a Pure Award third quarter winner, we have another employee of Superior Court, Ms. Sheena Park. And she's been selected for the third quarter.
I would like to thank everybody for the opportunity for working for the Columbus Consolidated Government. I've been with the city for almost 18 years now, since I was 18. So I love working for the city. I would like to recognize my mom and my son.
Mom, stand up or wave. Yeah, there she is. Okay. Yes. Great. Well, thank you so much. Please come around and let us congratulate you and get you this proclamation.
Team. She is.
Actually, it's a he. She's just standing in for him.
Yeah, she's just standing in. It's Sully Sina. Say it one more time. Sully Sine. Sully Sine. Mr. Sully Sine, who works for the Sheriff's Department. Would you like to say a few words?
He does. We're all deeply saddened. Deputy Sine couldn't be with us tonight. He is ill. And so we're really sad. But Deputy Sine, aside from his full-time job with the Muskogee County Sheriff's Office and all the brave work he does there, he also works part-time for the Adult Drug Court and is one of our surveillance officers, meaning he goes out to our participants' homes and connects with these individuals in their home and does work there. As quoted in our application for this award for him, I think one of the most powerful statements was made at our most recent graduation. And one of the graduates stood up and he looked at Deputy Sine and he said, "I've been a criminal all my life. And for the first time you taught me that just because you have a badge doesn't mean you're my enemy." And so what he's doing is really teaching people, doing that community policing work and connecting with people and showing them the different side of law enforcement, and it's invaluable to our program. While I know his family is not here, Sheriff Tompkins and Chief Culpepper, I believe, are both here tonight to support Sully. So we are blessed to have him as part of our team and excited that he was chosen for this award for all the great work he does.
Great. Thank you so much. Please come around. Deep appreciation. Thank you.
And when he comes back to work, may I say, bring him to house meeting so he can.
Yes, ma'am, we can do that.
Okay. All right. Well, next we want to call forward the World Diabetes Organization, who's here, Lauren Kennedy and Kelsey Ennis, and we have Counselor Gary Allen, who would like to read a special proclamation.
Thank you, Mayor. It's my privilege to publish this.
Let them get on up here.
Yeah. Thank you, Mayor. It's my privilege to publish the proclamation, which reads as follows. Whereas diabetes is a leading cause of death in Georgia, diabetes is an incurable disease in which the body does not produce or properly use insulin, a vital hormone in the conversion of sugar, starches, and other food to energy. And whereas type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease in which a person's pancreas stops producing insulin, a hormone that enables people to produce energy from food. It occurs when the body's immune system attacks and destroys the insulin-producing cells in the pancreas, called beta cells. There is no prevention for type 1 diabetes and at present no cure. And whereas type 1 diabetes strikes both children and adults at any age. More than 8,000 children are currently an unknown number of adults in Georgia live with type 1 diabetes. Whereas an increase in community awareness of risk factors and symptoms related to diabetes can improve the likelihood that people with diabetes will get the attention they need before suffering and the devastating complications of this disease. Whereas the ultimate goal is to find a cure for diabetes so that people can live fulfilling lives. Now, therefore, our Mayor, Teresa Pike Tomlinson of Columbus, Georgia, does hereby proclaim the month of November as Diabetes Awareness Month and Wednesday, November 14th, 2018, as World Diabetes Day.
Let's give them a round of applause. Please, if you would, say a few words and introduce all those with you.
Yeah, thank you. Sincere thanks to Mayor Tomlinson and Council for proclaiming November as Diabetes Awareness Month and November 14th specifically as World Diabetes Day. JDRF is the leading organization focused on type 1 diabetes research. JDRF is accelerating life-changing breakthroughs in treatment, prevention, and restoring insulin independence. JDRF is truly a volunteer-led organization, and we would not be nearly as successful without these people with us today, and specifically Dr. Stephen Leichter, who's been tremendously supportive of our organization. So as a part of our presentation today, we wanted to present Dr. Leichter with an award thanking him for his tremendous support, and we will present that to our families who are patients of Dr. Leichter to accept on his behalf because he is on call this evening. Oh. So the work never stops for him. So.
All right.
Yeah. And we'll invite you guys to introduce yourselves.
Yes, you all want to introduce yourselves or say a few words?
I'm Ed Boyd Jr.
I'm Ed's mom, Stacy, and this is
James.
Hey, James, I can tell you're very shy.
Awfully. And I'm Ed Boyd Sr. I just would like to say thanks to the council and Mrs. Mayor for recognizing diabetes like you have. Education and awareness is what it's all about. And this is the way that we'll find a cure that I believe we'll find within Ed's lifetime.
Yes,
so.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I am Wendy Murray, mom to JD Murray, who lives with type 1 diabetes. So thank you so much for recognizing the month of November and specifically November 14th for World Diabetes Day. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Is that everybody? We get everybody? Okay, all right. Come on around. Let's give them another round of applause, folks. Thanks for all your hard work. Thank you all so much. Thank you for your words. Thank you so much. Make sure that Dr. gets them. Yeah. Hey, it's so good to see you. Hey, man, you were really great. Yeah. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for your hard work. All right, next we have yet another individual in our community to be recognized for great work. We want to call forward Reynolds Bickerstaff Jr. and Councilor House has a special proclamation that he would like to read.
Thank you, Mayor. It's a privilege to read this proclamation. Whereas Mr. W. Reynolds Bickerstaff Jr. is a native of Columbus and a 1997 graduate of Brookstone School, he attended Lynchburg College in Lynchburg, Virginia, from 1997 to 1999, and later earned a bachelor's degree in finance from Auburn University in 2002. And whereas with deep roots in the Chattahoochee Valley area, Mr. Bickerstaff is recognized as a real estate oracle, motivational speaker, avid whitewater rafter, and is a broker and partner at Bickerstaff Parham Real Estate. And whereas Mr. Bickerstaff is passionate about training and educating real estate agents on how to be successful in real estate and effectively promote the many lifestyles in Columbus, Georgia and beyond. And whereas Mr. Bickerstaff's strong connection to the community is what drives him in his career as a real estate broker. In 2004, Mr. Bickerstaff joined Waddell Realty as salesperson. In January 2011, Mr. Bickerstaff became a partner at Waddell Realty and managed the corporation as the chief executive officer. And whereas in 2016, Waddell Realty became Bickerstaff Parham Real Estate, led by Mr. Bickerstaff and his partner and co-founder, Mr. Alan Parham. Mr. Bickerstaff serves as the current Chief Experience Officer at Bickerstaff Parham Real Estate. And whereas Mr. Bickerstaff serves the community through philanthropic work and community service in his roles as Water Commissioner at Columbus Waterworks and as Chairman of Uptown Columbus, his leadership at the nonprofit organization has helped Uptown gain recognition as a place to live, work, play, shop, and learn. And whereas Mr. Bickerstaff spearheaded a coalition of public, private, and corporate partners that now support 15 annual Friday night concerts, Riverfest, Paddle South Festival, the Splash Pad, the Uptown Playground, and the Soldiers Memorial Walk along the Chattahoochee River. And whereas these quality of life improvements and beloved community assets found in Uptown have created significant economic development opportunities and have facilitated historic preservation efforts that help make Uptown the heartbeat of the City of Columbus, as well as the greater Columbus community and region. Now, therefore, Teresa Pike Tomlinson, Mayor of Columbus, Georgia, does hereby proclaim Wednesday, October 31st, 2018, as W. Reynolds Bickerstaff Jr. Day.
Reynolds, it's been amazing to see the transformation of our Uptown area, and I know there's been a lot of hands on the wheel of that progress, but you've certainly been among the community leaders that have led the way, and so thank you so very much. We'd like to hear from you. Please say a few words.
No, I appreciate that very much, and that's not why I do it. I love Columbus and this region, and feel called to help give back the best way I can, and for the past 10 years, that's been the best way I can give back is by serving. So I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I do believe that we're just on the cusp of where this community is headed, and that I intend to be here as long as the community will allow me to serve and support it, and I'm just grateful that this is a community that allows me to share my talents and myself with it. So thank you for the opportunity.
Well, thank you for all you've done. We greatly appreciate you. Please come around and let us shake your hand.
Thank you for all you do.
Actually, Reynolds, I think is it your oldest daughter, Bunny?
Yes.
Wrote me, what was she, 5, 4?
When she was, it was a year ago.
Yeah, so let's say 5.
Yes.
Okay, and wrote me a note and said, "Dear Mayor, why is college so expensive?" You could tell there had already been some conversations in the household planning for her future endeavors, so.
Your response to her is one of the highlights of her childhood.
Sure. Oh, well, they're just such wonderful letters you get. So our next mayor, Mayor-elect Henderson, will be in for a real treat.
Well, we'll be sending lots of letters.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, great, great. Well, we have more folks to recognize. We want to call forward Master Sergeant Patricia Liddell to come forward, please. Good evening. Please come here. And if you would like to stand behind her in support and solidarity, it's so good to see you. And if you'd like to record or take pictures, please come on back here. You can absolutely step up here. Yeah, oh no, they're wide open. It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Thank you for being here. Council has called for a special resolution to recognize you this evening. I'm going to read it into the record. And then council will vote on its affirmation. Whereas Sergeant Master Patricia E. Liddell, retired, served in a variety of leadership positions in the Medical Service Corps of the United States Army during her tenure, April 1977 to January 2004. Whereas Ms. Liddell has long been recognized by the citizens of this state for the vital role she has played as a servant leader and her deep personal commitment to veterans and their families in Columbus, Georgia. Whereas Ms. Liddell has diligently and conscientiously devoted innumerable hours of her time, talent, and energy toward the betterment of her community and state. whereas Ms. Lydell was one of the founding members of the American Legion Post 333, whereas Ms. Lydell provides superlative service as the service officer for American Legion Post 333, whereas Ms. Lydell is an instrumental member of the American Legion locally and nationally, and whereas Ms. Lydell was the Veteran Administration Volunteer Service Representative for the American Legion Department of Georgia for Central Alabama, Veterans Administration Healthcare and Services, and whereas as the mission continues, fellow Ms. Lydell helped refurbish West Side and assisted in the building of the columbarium at the Riverdale Cemetery on behalf of the veterans without a final resting place. And whereas Ms. Lydell was a certified mentor for the Veterans Court of Columbus, Georgia, and whereas Ms. Lydell's significant organizational and leadership talents, remarkable patience and diplomacy, keen sense of vision, and sensitivity to the needs of veterans and the citizens of Columbus, Georgia have earned her the respect and admiration of her colleagues and associates. And whereas Ms. Lydell is a person of magnanimous strength with an unimpeachable reputation for integrity, intelligence, fairness, and kindness, and whereas Ms. Lydell's honorable service to the United States Army and her unyielding commitment to veterans and their families have set the standard for public service, and whereas it is fitting and proper that the outstanding accomplishments of this remarkable and distinguished Georgian be appropriately recognized by this council. Now, therefore, the Council of Columbus, Georgia hereby resolves this council recognizes and commends Patricia E. Lydell for her outstanding commitment to the people and commitment of Columbus and the community of Columbus, Georgia. Columbus appreciates her servant leadership and wishes her every success in the future. I'll entertain a motion for acceptance. I got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please state aye. 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 Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Please say a few words and introduce those who are with you here this evening.
I have to thank Mr. Mitch, who's standing behind you, the one that I think sent the resolution in. And I have behind me my legionnaires and one of the mentors from Veterans Court, because I'm a mentor for Veterans Court, and my church members from St. Mary's Road United Methodist Church. I'll let all of them introduce themselves.
Juanita Patrick. Maria Green.
Yes, come up to the mic so we can hear you.
Come to the mic.
Juanita Patrick, St. Mary's Road United Methodist Church.
Maria Green, St. Mary's Road, United Methodist Church.
Ronnie Peterson, one of the mentors.
Madonna Moore, I'm the historian for American Legion Post 333.
Prudence Nunley, I am the, oh my goodness, I'm the junior vice for Post 333.
Edgar Johnson, Senior Vice, Post 333.
I stand on these people's shoulders. They keep me going, and I thank you.
Thank you so very much. You do so much for this community. You're out there in the field every day. We see you, and we appreciate you. So please come around, let us shake your hand and get you this resolution. Thank you all. We have several boards, authorities, and commissions that comprise the citizen input of this community, and we're so thankful to have that service. It makes our jobs a lot easier. I know we have someone here this evening in person who's able to receive their recognition, and so I'd like to call forward Mr. Frank Brasky. I'm going to read it out loud since you're here, sir, to receive this, but I'm going to also rattle off the names of the others that served with you on this important commission. And the resolution reads, a resolution expressing appreciation for the council for meritorious service rendered Columbus by Mr. Frank Braske. Whereas Mr. Frank Braske of Columbus, Georgia has served Columbus diligently and faithfully as a member of the Comprehensive Plan Stakeholders Committee. Now therefore the Council of Columbus, Georgia hereby resolves, this council hereby expresses its appreciation for the diligent, faithful, and meritorious civic service of Mr. Frank Braske, who has served on the Comprehensive Planning Stakeholders Committee. I'll entertain a motion for acceptance. All those in favor, please state aye. All right, congratulations. And without rereading, well, yes, let's go ahead and get you. Congratulations. Thank you so much for your service. All right. I wanted to read off the names of the others who also participated. Chief Ricky Boren, Mr. Willie Brown, Reverend Adrian Chester, Miss Betsy Covington, Mr. Jim Culpepper, Mario Davis, Miss Gladys Ford, Mr. Derek Green, Mr. Ed Helton, Counselor John House, Mr. Sean Michael Knox, Mr. Ben Link, Rick McKnight, Mr. Brian Solito, Mr. Ernie Smallman, Miss Olive Vidal Kindle, Mr. Chirp Wade, Miss Shanae Goodwin, and Miss Kendra Wright. If I could get a motion to approve those and a second. All those in favor, please state aye. All right, great. We will get these to those who have served. With that, it concludes our agenda this evening. We thank you for joining us. Again, you have about 51 minutes to go vote. So please get out there and do your civic duty if you haven't already. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? All those in favor, please state aye. We are adjourned.